Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, Al Capone, Adolf Hitler, Lex Luthor. You freely admit that these vile and appalling criminals are the men you revere above all as heroes and role models. Your insane schemes have placed in jeopardy the lives of every man, woman, and child on this planet. Have you anything more to say before I deliver the verdict of this court? Superman made me do it. He should be on trial here. Put me away, you senile, sweating toad. Get this farce over with. I'll do more than that. You're a human monster, Luthor. An amoral, sociopathic predator, driven by jealousy, greed, and a grandiose self-delusion. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the verdict of this court. Guilty on all accounts of crimes against humanity. The sentence is death in the electric chair. DC Comics presents All-Star Superman, Episode 5, written by Grant Morrison, penciled by Frank Quitely, digitally inked and colored by Jamie Grant. Welcome to Stryker's Island, Mr. Kent. Built to hold the crazy gangsters of Metropolis in the 1930s, and now home to 140 deranged and deformed super criminals. Lettered by Phil Balsman. Editorial assists by Brandon Montclair. Edited by Bob Schreck. Superman created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. A DC Comics production. And I thought it was the garlic bagels that were making me queasy, Max. I have 1 hour. 1 hour on death row with the world's most notorious criminal scientist. The Gospel according to Lex Luthor. Yes, I'm aware of your lumbering presence, Kent. I was just finishing some fine detail work on my Bibliobot Mark II. A roving library. It'll read you any of 1,000 classic works of literature from Ulysses, Stately Plump, Buck Mulligan, to A Tale of Two Cities. Most of the time, he just floats around on his own. It's pathetic. Culture's a dirty word nowadays, but God knows I try. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Call him off! Careful, Kent! Look at you. You write like a poet, but you move like a landslide. I'm sure I had my dignity with me when I came in. Afternoon, Luthor. I'm here on the floor for our interview. Your clumsiness may have saved me from electrocution. Thanks to my rubber insoles. Whoa! How very ironic is that? Here I am, on death row, courtesy of evidence gathered by your newspaper, the Daily Planet. That is kind of ironic. Almost makes us quit, star reporter. How about this pair of fat girls? Somehow they overlooked the high-voltage death trap. I wouldn't call them girls. They look pretty tough to me. They've given me an hour to talk with you, Lex, to hear your side of the story. I saw that Da Vinci of Crime headline. It seems like a compliment, but there's a sneer hidden in there somewhere, isn't there? Follow me, Kent. This would never have happened if anyone else on this planet had the wit to see it. The smug self-regard that powers his beaming, boyish grin. How does a man like you feel about Superman? Honestly. I'm fine with him. He's always been friendly around the office. And you don't feel in any way diminished by his very presence on this planet? Strange. Our jobs don't tend to overlap. Speaking of which, my, job as a reporter, that is, What is that? What are you writing about me now? Give. Unintelligible squiggles. I can mentally crack any code known to man in less than a minute. Time me. It's shorthand, Lex. Simmer down. Shorthand? What kind of ridiculous affectation is that for a man? Why can't you use an electronic recording device like any normal hack? Those things, just don't... I can't seem to get them to work around me. I picked up shorthand from my ma. Give her my regards next time you drop by the family plot. Shorthand. Okay? Something else to learn. Imagine life on this world if some opportunistic alien vermin hadn't decided to dump its trash here, Kent. That's all I've ever asked anyone to do. Imagine how it was meant to be. Think about it. Without Superman to distract her, you just never know. Perhaps cool, cruel Lois Lane might actually have noticed good old Clark sighing faithfully in the corner. Why aren't you blushing? I know you have feelings for her. I'm here to interview you, Luthor. Remember the big exclusive you promised my editor? I'm just saying, a tall, strapping Midwestern farmer's boy with brains, integrity, and no style of his own? That's a prize catch for any cynical city gal. Throw in some weight training and that flabby physique of yours could even come to rival Superman's build. I don't know about that. I presume you'll be launching an appeal? But next to him, she sees an oaf, a dullard, a cripple. Next to all-powerful Superman, Lex Luthor is an idiot. And you know what, Kent? She'll never see past him to you. Hey! Are you trying to intimidate me, Lex? We all fall short of that sickening, inhuman perfection, that impossible ideal. Feel that, Kent? Real muscles, not like his. Go on, feel. It's easy to be strong when you just happen to have come from the planet Krypton. This takes hard work. Impressive, but a little off topic. You sure don't act like a man facing imminent death. I don't, do I? Hands off, Kent. So, how's Superman these days? Pale? Tired? He seems just fine. Ah, but he's not. He only looks that way. I just don't get it. Why squander your resources and intellect on this, frankly unhealthy, obsession with Superman? You know, I've spent so much of my adult life in prison thanks to him. It seems like home. Predictable. Comfortable. The same types recurring. The brutes. The strong-arm men. The ones who need a gang to belong to, a simple creed to follow. The masterminds, the loners. Strikers is my bottle city, like Superman's Kandor, a world in miniature. Where better to establish an alternative than here, in the most hostile environment known to man? What would you do if you had his powers? An alternative to what? To truth, justice, and all the other things you can't weigh or carry. To every abstract he represents. Is it really all about Superman? Lex, these men seem pretty restless. They can feel the coming change, the wings of a new human renaissance. I'm transforming this place into a new model of society, Kent. A blueprint for utopian living. You have the eyebrow-shaped beauticians call the Superman swoosh. Apparently, 65% of men subconsciously trim their eyebrows that way to be more like him. Lex, you dropped this earlier. This is my final revenge. To be right. My survival of the smartest. Doctrines command absolute respect in here.
I've got you, Luthor! Suck you dry!
Ignore it. Every society has its monsters. But the parasite doesn't scare me. Brain beats brawn every time. The parasite?
Luthor! You hear me, Luthor? Got you!
I'll show him who's boss when the time comes. Punch out the big, ugly ones first, Lex, my grandma used to say. The parasite? Wait a minute. He's safe behind lead shielding, right?
Power!
What's happening? Marlon, what's he doing?
More power than I ever had!
But he feeds on nearby energy sources, like if Superman were passing by or something. Why bother to shield him on his way back from the infirmary? So what if he drains a toaster before the screws take him down? What's the matter, Kent? Scared he'll absorb your last reserves of cowardice? Can't let him touch me. I need to get out of here. Everything okay, Mr. Kent?
More power!
Chaos. The phase transition, a necessary first stage in the foundation of any new social order.
Power!
Luthor, you're in terrible danger. My stress ulcer. Kent, that's tear gas, you moron. Bye, girls. I'm in danger, he says. You're under my protection now, Kent. In my world. Kent? Some other slob of a journalist can have Lex Luthor's story of a lifetime. Can't see! How did we get out here? What just happened? Sir, Superman. That could have been my skull, Kent, you oaf. This way. Uh-oh. I said follow me, Kent, if you want to live. Never mind your glasses. But I can't see without them. Everything's a complete blur. Clever. Run! Don't tell me. It's your asthma. Keep up, Kent. That's some security system. You know, part of me would be happy watching these animals tear you apart, you sanctimonious ox. But I want you alive. I want you to tell my story. The story of a man who refused to bend the knee to an alien invader. A man who dared ask the question, who does Superman think he is? Wouldn't you rather talk about your achievements, Lex? Can we stay away from the parasite? I really don't think it's safe down here. My cell is down here, and that's where we're going. You want to live, don't you?
Like a son!
Bullets won't stop him now. He's converting the kinetic energy into more mass. You're right. Look at him, bloated with power. Nothing left but a mouth and an appetite.
Agree, son.
Drawn like a moth to some immense energy source.
So prove you're fit to lead us, Luthor! Fight, fight, fight!
Welcome to my cozy middle-class existence. And pray for a miracle, Kent.
Get me out of here, Luthor. There's going to be an earthquake. It's going to cause an earthquake.
He's choking on energy. Stuffed and bursting like some sickening overripe fruit. My bullets must have tipped the balance. Made him too massive to carry his own weight.
I guess so. Poor man. His own greed engulfed him.
See what happens to anyone who crosses me, Kent? Anyone who underestimates Lex Luthor? Liquefying. And that's exactly how he'll look. That's how Superman will look at the end. Nobody threatens me. Nobody gets in Luthor's way!
Lex, my shorthand can't handle the volume.
Anybody else want to challenge my ideas? Didn't think so. I'm walking straight back to my cell on death row. You want change? Wait for my signal.
I'll tell them how you helped me out, quelled the riot. Lex, I know you're not all bad.
I've always liked you, Kent. You're a humble, modest, uncoordinated human. You're everything he's not. But you're just another weapon in my war against Superman. Watch how easily I make you, your paper, and the entire penal system seem completely unreliable. And then the imitable Lex Luthor opened up the floor and shook hands with a baboon in a Superman suit. Evening, Leopold. Your escape route, Kent. Excavated by Bibliobot Mark II. Did you know Moby Dick can be recited at frequencies so high Melville's masterpiece becomes a sonic drill capable of carving through solid rock? Literally boring a passage through the earth. Lovely Natalia here will take you back to the land of the living while I await the end. She's 18, speaks 30 languages, and wants to rule the world one day, bless her. Call me nasty. Eyebrow Lexi. Eyebrow. What are you looking at, Kent?
Nothing. Without my glasses, I'm completely blind. You could escape any time you wanted, Lex.
I'm going to the chair fulfilled. Don't worry about me. I have friends in high places.
I can't believe you're getting ready to die like this. You and Superman could have been friends.
Are you insane? I'm a born dictator.
You'll die like a mad dog in the yard. Think straight, Lex.
He'll die first. I used the sun itself, Kent, the source of his powers, to overload his cellular batteries and destroy him from within. Do you understand? I killed Superman. He doesn't want the world to know he's dying, of course. So, break the news gently. Take your exclusive, Kent.
You can't prove this.
I place his beloved truth in your hands. Strike with it. You wanted my story, the Gospel of Lex, and now you have it. There's no deep psychology behind the struggle between Superman and me. It's all very simple. How would you feel if someone deliberately stood in your way over and over again? If it wasn't for Superman, I'd be in charge on this planet. And now he's dying. What more could I want? Where to now, Mr. Kent?
And that was All-Star Superman episode 5, The Gospel According to Lex Luthor. Fun stuff. I chose that specific episode because it really dives deeply into Lex Luthor's character and his resolve when it comes to Superman. But you also have the bouncing off of Clark Kent. So the whole time, Clark, trying to remain Clark and not be, obviously, Superman. And even in the small moments, the way that he attempts to help Luthor, right? Like, Luthor almost got electrocuted from his wiring and all that when he's trying to, when he's building his device, his invention and whatnot. And Clark decides to step in and be a clumsy guy and save Luthor's life. So you still get some Superman's personality and his character through that and other responses throughout. And we see Lex and his lack of remorse, of course. He always believes he's right. We see his envy, right? Everybody praises Superman and wants Superman to save the day, and Lex's whole thing of, wait, he's not even human, it should be us. We should be the ones to save ourselves, that sort of mentality of just not able to deal with someone else being able to do the job that he wants. He wants to be, I guess, a leader, but really a ruler, a dictator, like he said himself. He wants that power, and he sees Superman has that power, though it's more of a benevolent thing. It's not like Superman is using that power to, I guess, oppress people. But Lex would, and Lex wants that power so that he could, right? So that cuts deeply, and that's like the roots of that hatred he has towards Superman. But yeah, you get this guy. He's on death row now, right? Like, this is like the end. Like, the way All-Star Superman plays out is sort of like this big celebration and culmination of Superman stuff that kind of works into some sort of finale in a way. But it's also just like a, really good standalone book that really shows like the best of Superman as a character, as a superhero, and the themes throughout really great. The episode after this one is a really good one. It really dives into his relationship with specifically with Pa Kent, his father, and then you get some more things about that, and it just goes in through each like a lot of deep cut like Superman mythology stuff. It's really cool. But specifically this episode I chose because I thought it'd be cool to like look at Lex Luthor and Superman's like their where that tension really is, like that the real root of that, and as you solve the bit of the reveal there of what Lex did, right? Because the premise of All-Star Superman is that, Superman basically finds out that he, I guess, effectively has like Superman level cancer, right? Like something that he could get. The invincible, all-powerful Superman, right? So that's the whole like premise of the book, and that story arc. It's 12 episodes, so 12 issues. You could get it compact in a single volume. That's what I got, and it's amazing. It was a gift, so shout out V Machine, who's been in the chat before. But it's an iconic story because it really, because it's about that, the I guess, lack of a better term, like the what would you call it? I guess the vulnerability of Superman, but like, the vulnerability that that he has that's very finite, right? Like any person, any human being, right? Because he's dying, so then the story is what he does on like through his like last days, essentially. And so what's great about that is that you get moments like this where, okay, he goes in, and because Lex Luthor is now sentenced to death row, Superman goes in and just like personally speaks with Lex. I mean, as Clark, but he's still willing to to humanize Lex, right? To get Lex's side of the story and to get that personal connection with this guy, because despite all that evil, despite the horrible acts that Lex has ever done, Superman still says, he still believes that there is still good. There is still something in you. Because at the end of the day, Lex wishes for humanity's survival. It's just he wants to be the one to lead humanity there, right? And then that's where the envy comes in, because he sees that Superman is kind of setting the example and giving people hope and whatnot and helping people, and that really pisses him off. It's like, no, wait, I should be the one to do it. I'm the one who's smart. I'm the one who has the money. I'm the one who should do it, right? And yet Superman is like, but I want to know what's up with this guy. Why is he like this? Now that he's on death row, what does he have to say now? Like, is he finally gonna, I guess, open up and be honest, and hopefully open up to the opportunity of changing, of feeling remorse for once? But no, Lex is still, he's adamant about this. The fact that no, Superman does not deserve to be the hero. He's the alien. Only humans can save humans. Nobody else. Okay? And I'm the one who should be the one to lead people because of my resources, like that. Yeah. So it's very I don't know, it's just really, really cool to see the character and the personality of Superman in this specific episode, but also this whole story, All-Star Superman. Yeah, Superman is my favorite fictional character, and I think a lot of people have always assumed that, oh, he's so boring, he's overpowered. How do you make a story about Superman interesting? Because there are a lot of arguments I've heard over and over and over. And I feel like this is one of the stories. This is probably the story, All-Star Superman, where you can dive in and see why he's so interesting. Because, yeah, it goes into how freaking strong he is and all these powers and whatnot, and how he's able to solve all these problems. His solutions are just very out there because of the powers he has. But at the end of the day, you get to see his personality. You get to see why this guy works, right? You get to see why he's so interesting despite the powers, because it's not about the superpowers. That's not what makes him special. It makes him set apart because he has superpowers, but what makes him special is that with all those superpowers, he's still a man. He's still a person with flaws and mistakes, and yet he still tries to fight for doing good, and he tries to do good, in the same way that you would hold open a door for someone. Superman could lift up a building for someone. You know what I mean? He has these powers, and so he sees why not just help people with them? And that pisses off Lex Luthor. So in a way, everything that Lex is bringing up as an argument and as his reasons for hating Superman, it's really funny, because it's almost like it is the people who critique Superman as a character. Lex is them, And yeah, I mean, I think this specific episode 5, it really speaks to that, and it's great. It's great. Great. Yeah, I recommend All-Star Superman. Please go read it if you can. There's also an animated movie adaptation, does a pretty good job, but I feel like I felt it more when I read it. Still, check it out. It's great. It's definitely, I'd say, probably the best Superman story there is. And because it really shows in totality Superman, both the character and the, I guess, symbol, if that makes sense, like, what he stands for, like, the abstract stuff, like Lex said, truth, justice, the American way, better tomorrow, like that, all that. But it really also speaks to the character, like personality, and because on one hand, yeah, he's this general symbol of like goodness, being kind, blah 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 blah. But he does have a character that you can write about, So, yeah, it's great stuff, right? I love Superman. So, again, All-Star Superman, check it out. I recommend it. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Fun stuff. That's crazy, though. It only took about, like 30-ish minutes to, like, read through that and talk about it. Yeah. Let me see. I know that that's all I'm gonna read. I was gonna read something else from All-Star Superman, but technically it's the last episode in it, so it's like it wouldn't make sense because it's like just kind of pretty much just spoiling like how it all wraps up. I don't want to do that, so instead there's that one. It's like a bit less than halfway because there are 12 and it's the fifth one, so it's not really like, it's not a spoiler because literally like first page it's like what's up, who did it, basically. It's not about that. It's not about who did it. It's about now, how does Superman deal with it because it happened. Anyway, well, fun stuff. I will not be streaming tomorrow because I'm gonna be going out of town. Gonna be going to a concert, and then I will be back Thursday, but I won't be able to stream. I'll see if I stream Friday, and if I do, I'll see what game. Most likely, probably Fortnite. I don't know, but let's see. Anyway, I've been in a Superman mood. Because I did recently watch the new movie, and again, Superman's my favorite fictional character, so like I've been in that mood, been just taking in a bunch of Superman related stuff, and I wanted to read Superman. In other news, I got my book coming out August 22nd. More news about that later. I was working on, planning a live in-person event for the launch, but some things have happened. We gotta wait on that because the bookstore had to move locations and they're closed until they find a new place. But I am planning on something with the local Barnes & Noble. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is available for pre-order, like pretty much everywhere books are sold. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, of course, Kobo, if you want the ebook, Apple Books, if you want the ebook, through there. Indigo Chapters, Canada, I believe. Booktopia, I think it's called, Australia. And then in the UK, Waterstones, it's available there as well. So Walmart, it's available in Walmart, forgot about that. I guess it's safe to say everywhere books are sold. Maybe not entirely yet. I don't know if it's listed on Target yet, but the other places, yeah. So Light of the Distant Lamppost, you could check that out. August 22nd. You can pre-order, like I said. I guess it's everywhere books are sold with an asterisk. because I'm not sure. It seems like it. There's even like this one place in like Rhode Island that it's been. I don't even. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah. There you go. Catch you guys next time. I'll be in the Discord whenever's, and you know, want to do a game night as well. It doesn't have to be live streamed, but when I live stream, I'll be here. I'll tell y'all in the Discord and on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah. Sick. Thanks for being here to watch me read All-Star Superman and try to do voices, you know, for Lex Luthor and Clark Kent, right? So, anyway, thank y'all. See ya next time. I know it's pretty brief, right? Pretty brief. I was surprised myself. Like, what? Again, like, only been 44 minutes, dude. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. We read it and talked about it, but the VOD will be up. I'll try to. I mean, my goal is to get the VOD and be able to like have it uploaded on the YouTube channel. So, anyway, see everybody. Take care. Hasta luego, and have a wonderful rest of your time zone. See ya. Yeah. Superman. All right. See ya.